Emma's Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe podcast.
Hello and welcome to Emma's Universe podcast. So, what are we going to be talking on our podcast today? Let go of the life you planned, embracing the one that's calling you. Let's get started. So, a space where transformation meets truth and where we make room for the life we were always meant to live. Yes. Let's get started on this one. It is for anyone who's been holding on tightly to an old plan, an old dream, or an identity that no longer fits. It's called Let Go of the Life You Planned, embracing one that's calling you. This is one of those soul level conversation, the kind that can stir up a few things inside you. But stay with me because this could be the turning point you didn't know you needed. You never know. So, when life doesn't go according to the script, oh boy, let's talk about this one. Got a lot to say on this one. So, most of us grew up with a mental blueprint for how life should unfold. Maybe it was get the degree, land the perfect job, get married by a certain age, buy the house, have the kids, climb the ladder. And when life doesn't follow that script, we panic. We feel like we failed. We grieve the version of our life that should have been. Yes, but here's the truth. Sometimes the life we plan is too small for who we're becoming. That detour, that heartbreak, that sudden left turn you did not ask for, it might actually be the redirection you needed to live more honestly, more deeply, and more fully. So let's talk about that infamous blueprint. The influence we've got when your parents have already made the plan. They already have a plan. By the time you're born, they already knew who you're going to marry, what you're going to do, how much you're going to make, blah, blah, blah. And from there, they're starting to tell you what to do. And I've seen it too many times. Good fulfillment, understanding. Sometimes they feel in competition with others. Or they want to live through their children's life. And it goes into a fiasco. Big one. One, you end up being unhappy for what you're doing. Yeah. You will quit your job, you pass all of those degrees, you start to work, and then all of a sudden you just stop everything and say, you know what? I do not want to be in corporate world. I just want to be a baker or open a coffee shop or something along those lines. And you live happy, except your parents are not so happy. Or as a kid, your intentions were to be a chef or run your own business or do something that you thought this is what you would do. And then life takes you in a journey that is not what you dreamed of. And you get very upset about it. And you take those detours and those heartbreaks and everything along the way, and you are not a happy camper because your goals that you had do not fit your purpose, literally. So a lot of people are in a boat where They could be happy, but they are unhappy because they married somebody they don't want to get married and they are not completely in love with that person, or the job they have is just not what they wanted, but it's a paycheck. So we're keeping it that way. That's what happened at some level when we're doing things this way. And I'm not blaming anybody, I'm just letting you know there is no blaming game here. Now, one of the biggest things we got when we want to do things like that is the fear of surrounding control. Yeah. Like Dr. Joseph Murphy said, we are our worst own enemies because we want to put you on our nose on the how instead of keeping our eyes on the goals. Letting go of the life you plan is terrifying. Yes, because it means surrounding the illusion of control. We think control keeps us safe, but often it keeps us stuck. More than often. I have seen people trying to control everybody, everyone, every situation, and they turn everybody else's nuts, and they are not helping their causes. They are knee deep into the doo-doo and they still think they got control. You got control over nothing at all. So, letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means creating the space. Space for something new to emerge. Space to meet yourself not as who you thought you should be, but who you are right now, today. The past is the past. You can reflect on the past. You can look at the journey you went through. But this is not who you are. It takes trust in life, trust in timing, and most importantly, trusting yourself, which is one of the hardest things people do. When I went through the dark night of the soul, which was at the end, actually, it was the death of who I was, basically. Going through the ringers, and at the end, discovering the fire, hello, fire, was the cherry on the top of the cake to say, Emma, the past is the past. Everything you have done for 5 decades is done and over. Who you were, you're not who you are today, which is so freaking true. I am not the person I was 2 years ago. I am not the person I was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. No, I'm not. I have done so many things, and I look back and I'm like, holy crap. I have done so many things. It's unbelievable. The detour, the navigation I never had, and I'm probably one of the few one. When you ask as a kid, what do you want to do or you want to be? I'm like, I have no idea. I had no idea when I was a kid, in the teens, 20s, 30s. I'm just experiencing, getting my skill set, all of the knowledge that I want to learn. Then I had the opportunity of a lifetime to experience, been there, done that. I have, like everybody else, like a diamond, multiple facets. I've been peeling the layers to know who I am and what I'm capable to do. A lot of people don't. A lot of people think they're one trick pony. We're not. But discovering ourselves can take a lifetime. This is why we're here. It's experiencing, but it's also giving the opportunity for the universe to bring us what we need on our ways, on our path. Becoming that observer, looking at our goal, looking at, hey, universe, you're going to bring all of that crap because I have no idea how you're going to do it, but you're going to bring it out of thin air and make it happen. That's what it's all about. So, surrounding control is one of the hardest things when we want things to go a certain way. We have to give up that certain way. We have to tell our ego, my ego, go night-night, everything is safe. Let our soul talk and align ourselves with our highest good. What is for my highest good and my higher self being connected? I know it's kind of deep for a Wednesday, isn't it? When you think about it. But you need that space. Every single time, think about a moment in your life when you try to get control from A to B and it went into a fiasco, or you were so frustrated along the way, and it can be personal or professional. then everything went haywire. It was, quote unquote, a shit show along the way. And you ask yourself, why is it not working? And the more you put your hands in there in that cookie jar, the more the cookies are crumbling and it looks like a boo-boo. It doesn't look like the result you want. When you allow that space to open up, guess what? Things run easily. It's like, see another thing that happened in your life where it's like walking on freaking water, literally. You're like, I had a great day today. Everything went perfectly. I had to go maybe to the DMV and do this and do that. I had to go somewhere. I had a meeting, blah, blah, blah. Everything lines up perfectly. Okay? This is because you gave that space to let things happen. You were on that flow. Controlling is a base fear that things gonna go haywire. You have trust. And yes, the unknown is scary. It's freaking scary. But it's freaking exhilarating as well. It is. So you have to leave room to breathe. You are not in charge of everything. You are in charge of your free will and your goals, but the universe is there to make things happen. We are working in partnership with the universe. And when you understand that, your creativity and things in your life will change for the better. Now, signs a new life is calling you. So, how do we know when the life we've been living isn't aligned anymore? Here are a few signs for you. You feel chronically restless or numb. You're succeeding but are not satisfied. You're constantly fantasizing about the what if, and your spirit feels disconnected even if your calendar is full. You're feeling disconnected. These are not failure. These are invitation whispers from your soul asking you to listen. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to have all of the answers before you begin again. You just need to say yes to the call. And this is where the wildest ride of your life will happen, actually. When you said yes, and you're going to feel sucked in a vacuum and like, holy crapola with a big S. I remember when and that was one of the scariest things too. I had the name of my business several years ago. I said it to Jay in 2003. I said, I am going to start my own business, blah, 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 blah. We had a plan. I'm like, yeah. Then 10 years, in 2012. So 10 years later, I said it to the universe. Okay. 10 years later, I had the opportunity by way of synchronicity to do it. And I was on the edge of it. I already had the name of the business, but I was too scared. Then the universe said, okay, you're scared, but guess what? This is your last warning shot. The next one, we're going to kick you in the butt. I'll take the fry pan and smack you behind the head, and you're going to go for it. Well, I did. A few years after, I had the opportunity, and I said, you know what? I'm going to start my business. Oh boy, I barely said that. And I think I shared a story in some of my podcasts. But so I got the name and like how to freaking register to do that. So I went to LegalZoom and I had those guys doing it. So I was in the middle of doing it and I backed out. They called me back and said, do you need anything else? Do you need something to finish? Blah, blah, blah. And I had my fears. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm very concerned about this. Blah, blah. I said, well, we can do this. We got the option to do this. We will have, your accounting, blah, blah, blah. So they had a full already step by step on some of the stuff because, you can start your business, but you have to have line up a couple of things as well in there. And it felt like being sucked into a freaking vacuum from the universe, meaning it accelerated at the speed of light where I was like, holy crap, where is the depend underwear when you need one? Because I am going to pee on myself like there is no tomorrow. Seriously, it was so scary when I stepped into the plate, I claimed it, and everything went so fast in motion. It was like, holy crap, I needed a website. I needed an accountant. I needed, what else I needed? No, the accountant had everything. So everything lined up actually. And I shared the story. I was in a retreat in Chicago with, not Colette, but Sonia Choquette. And I was talking with those legal Zoom as well because we were finishing them to set up some stuff, and I wasn't sure. I was ready to cancel actually to go to her retreat actually, and I did not. I was like, I don't know if I can do it, blah blah blah, and I did. Glad I did actually. Things lined up perfectly, and I was talking with the girls that were over there, and we were reading at the table. We were outside. It was beautiful by that golf course. And we were all talking, and I said, "Well, I need to get my website." And I'm like, "Well, I did prior to go over there with Sonia to that retreat. I was looking at options, and I didn't like the options I've got because some of the company I hired, I interview not hired, but interview where you don't own your website." They give you only a layout and you have to choose between 2 or 3 layout, blah, blah, blah. So it's like more off the shelf, but you have no control about anything. If something happen, you have to pay a fee, blah, blah, blah. So for me, I didn't like it because I didn't have full control of I didn't own, and you don't, unless it's yours, like mine. If you had it from Square, you don't own the website. You're borrowing it, and everything in there is not yours. You don't own that content either, by the way. So I did not like that. And so I was talking at the table and I said, well, I'm looking for a website, blah, blah. And one person said, well, we have somebody who actually teaches small businesses. And she had, I think that was when I was coming back, I believe so. When I was coming back from that retreat, she had, I forgot her name, very, very good at what she does, actually. She had a session where she will show and explain everything. So she had a meeting, and it was a big Zoom meeting. So I was able to get on it, and it was very interesting. I said, this is exactly what I need. I need to do it myself because that's what I wanted, because I had a specific idea for the website, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So this is what I did. And the universe brought me all of this. I asked the question, and I got the answer within 24 hours. Same thing for everything. I needed the software, and because I got the accountant, and I said, okay, wait, the software came with it, which was good, and I did it. So I had the opportunity on everything I did. When I finally step up, claim it, not only name it, but claim it, everything moved very quickly at the speed of light. I was shocked. Within not even 2 weeks, I got everything else done. And it was like, holy crap. And it would have taken several months to get it done. It did not. It's everything aligned perfectly. I did my first website in less than, I don't know, 2 or 3 days, because she was surprised on how fast I did with mine. And what took me longer actually was to get the pictures for the website. This is what took me longer. It took me over 8 hours to pick specific pictures for the first website, actually. So when you aligned, and that's why I'm sharing that story, when you align finally, when you let go and let flow, you'll be amazed how things, the piece of the puzzles, are falling into places. You don't control it. You let it come. You ask a question. I ask question to universe at all time, to God. I'm like, okay, we need to do this. And I'm putting the angels to work. I'm like, okay, guys, we need this. How do we do this? And within few hours, I got answers. I got things that have been brought to me that I found solutions. It's amazing. You just relinquish the need of, I'm going to do this. And yes, you could, but you're going to hit your head against the wall for so long. When you understand you're not in control of it, you let go of the control and let it flow. Become the observer. The same with the fire. Think about your house is burning down. You woke up at midnight, middle of the freaking night. Your house is burning down. You have no place to go. You got your dogs in your car, because the first thing I do, I don't let my dogs behind. I don't leave my babies behind. I took them with me. And they were in a car. They did so well. I was so proud of those guys. They stay for 7 hours. No, not seven. It was midnight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 hours. They did actually 7 hours in a car. I let them out a couple of times to go pee, but they were so good. But I had no idea where to go. I had no clothes. I had my clothes on, but my shoes got drenched in water when I stepped in that big puddle of water. So my shoes were gone, basically. Somebody, that was Jerry, who popped up out of the blue, and she did everything to find me a place to stay, which was a hotel, which was very nice for my dogs and myself. Helped me to get the clothes. At the end of the day, I could not control anything. I let it happen in a way that I saw. I became the observer and realized how things work magically. When you're looking at life, instead of being the one trying to get control, relinquish the freaking control, and you will see how many miracles can happen in your life, even the most saddled one. It's amazing. So when you're focusing on calling, what is your calling? What is your invitation? To listen what your spirit has to say, what your soul has to say. It is so empowering when you start to align yourself with your calling. A lot of time people talk about midlife crisis. In their 40s, they went, woo, whoopee, whoopee. They went and just changed their job. They become a bunch of hippies, blah, blah, blah. They're crazy, blah, blah, blah. No, they are not. They listen to the calling, because your soul's going to start to be louder and louder and louder, because you got your life purpose to live in. It's amazing to see and to think that transformation happens. And when you let and align yourself with your soul, it's amazing. Life becomes easier. It is scarier because you go into the unknown. The unknown is scary for a lot of people. I don't make any plans for I don't have a 5-year plan. I don't like 5-year plans. I never liked 5-year plans. All right. When people irritate, and I said it quite often in interviews, and what are you thinking you're going to be in 5 years? And I looked at people and I said, well, I could get hit by a bus. And that's true. I say that at all of mine. And I surprised and I shocked people because they were expecting me to lie. I'm like, I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. What's going to happen is that I'm going to be working here and helping. This is what I do. I'm present here. I don't do a 5-year plan. I don't know what 5 years will be. I don't have a crystal ball, and if I had one, I will not even tell you I have one. But I am not going to lie to you, because I don't know where I will be in 5 years. I am here. I'm not projecting myself into a future that doesn't exist. Now, let's talk about the courage to begin again. So that's another thing. Okay? Me restarting again, I've done that multiple times in my lifetime so far. I was 15 when I got my car crash accident and I had to restart it. I was 24 when I had my health duty bobber upside down, and that changed the course of what I was doing. Had to stay for 1 year living with my sister, a little less than 1 year. Was it 1 year? No, it was a little less than 1 year. And again, restarted. I had things in my life. The fire was another one as well. People are afraid to begin again. I'm not. I'm not at this point. I'm like, no, I'm not. It takes courage, because people are used, and everybody is used in their own little illusion of comfort. But when the universe is going to kick your ass to the curb and make you redo and rebuild your life, there is a reason behind everything. It can be at the single level, like in my case, or it can be at the people, meaning disaster. You're talking about hurricanes, you're talking about flood, earthquake. It could be more at the local level as well. Not only one person, but an entire village or region. So, releasing the life you planned isn't about abandoning responsibility or walking away from everything. It's about being honest, brutally honest, I would say, with yourself and about what is no longer aligning with you. That's what it is. A lot of people are afraid that they're going to stay in a relationship or in a job where they don't align anymore with because they're afraid to begin again. I've heard it from people. Oh, I have the comfort of my home. I don't want to move out because I have to restart again. Okay, well, stay where you are. Because this relationship no longer reflects who I am. This career no longer lights me up. This version of success doesn't feel like mine anymore. But when you do, you clear space for miracle, for clarity, and for peace. Because here's what I have learned. The life that's calling you may not look like what you expected, but it will feel like home. It's a fulfillment. It's bring you joy, peace of mind. Oh, good Lord, peace of mind, people. If you don't have peace of mind and you don't feel whole, then you're not aligned with your own self. You're not. You're living something that you can, live with if you wanted to. It's up to you. Again, you get your own free will. You do whatever you want. It's your own life. But let me say this. On your deathbed, don't come up with regrets if you did not change the way and got the calling of your soul, but ignored it. Don't have and live with bitterness and regrets, or because people do. On their deathbed, I have regrets. I did not do this. I did not do that. I have not had the opportunity to build my company. I did not dreamed. I did not went to those different countries and explore them. I did not fill out the blank. You have two choices. You can stay sour because some people get sour at the end of the day too. So you have to be, and you are actually in charge of your own life, regardless if you have a spouse and children. You can be and have the courage to begin again. And I can guarantee a lot of people have restarted their lives and they are way much happier than when they were before. I am very happy, even though I don't know what tomorrow's gonna be, but I do know I'm not gonna predict tomorrow because I'm creating my tomorrow today. I love my pops. I think those guys seriously turn, especially Daddy, my miracle girl, turn to be even more fun. And the personality really changed actually since we moved out. We moved out from where we were. But at the end of the day, my peace of mind and being grounded and whole is more important than anything else. And I've got my peace of mind and I am whole. I am happy. I was happy before, but I wasn't in a space where I am right now, where I can create and co-create things that I really want to. And I have a better perspective that comes with the years than I've been walking this earth. But it's also rewarding to see at the end of the day, I don't see restarting again as something as the end of the world or the end of my universe. I did the grief and I buried and I did the funeral of my old life. I celebrated it. I cried, and I said that in a past podcast. So I celebrated that as well. I acknowledged it. This was my own self. Then I closed the door because I am in a place of creativity that I would have never had the opportunity if I was in my old life. Again, ask and you shall receive. I was talking to the universe that night. And the answer from the universe was, we light up your home in fire. And that's what they did. They were waiting for me to say the few words, and I said, 6 hours later, I got the answer from the universe by burning down my home and everything else around. So I'm like, okay, universe. But I don't see it as restarting again. I see it as the next chapter. It's the next chapter of my life. So today I invite you to take a breath, to release the pressure of living according to someone else's timeline, to lay down the life you planned and open your arms to the one that's trying to find you. You're allowed to change, you're allowed to evolve, and you're allowed to begin again, even if it looks like nothing what you've imagined. Thank you for joining me today. If the message touched your heart, share it with someone who might be on the edge of their own becoming. Until next time, I am Emma, and this is where we rise by answering the quiet call with us. All my love, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye now.
Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast.
Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here?
Emma's Universe Podcast. Universe Podcast.
Studio Star.